Everybody is talking about AI, but very few companies are actually using it well. In this video, I'm going to walk through how leading companies from Meta and Google to rising startups are using AI across engineering, content, go-to-market, and operations to unlock massive leverage. These are real workflows you can learn from or copy today, and we're going to cover things such as AI accelerated coding and GTM workflows. We're going to cover content creation, personalization, and AI-driven coaching, and how leaders are using AI for strategy, ops, and decision making. So let's get into it. So let's start with the clearest ROI we're seeing. Engineering velocity. This is where AI's impact is the most quantifiable right now. So when you look at top companies like Meta, Google, and early adopters, they are using AI coding assistants such as Cursor, Windsurf, and Claude Code to produce code 10 to 15 times faster. Meta now says that 30 to 40% of their code is now AI generated. Microsoft has said something similar. I don't really care about that metric as much as I do about Google's metric here. They're seeing a 10% increase in true engineering velocity. This is true stuff that's going out there into production. Now, Claude Code, which is fairly recent, I mean, we're seeing 50% speed gains. And when you have the OpenAI Codex being released where you can have 5 or 10 different engineers, and there's products out there like Devin, you're now able to move a lot faster. Now look, if engineers are moving 10 times faster, marketers are personalizing 10 times deeper. The outbound playbook is actually changing quickly. So now we're talking marketing, we are talking sales a little bit as well. So you got companies like Clay you can use to enrich leads and personalize messaging at scale. And then you can push that data into tools like Smart Lead to launch full outbound sequences. You can use products like V0 and vibe coding products such as Replit to build out prototypes and deploy. And so I'm going to show you how you can do that.
Okay, so here's how Clay looks, and more specifically Claygent. And this is how I'm using it for, let's say, recruitment or lead generation. And so from a recruiting standpoint, we want people who have at least 2 promotions at a role. And so Claygent will actually help you find these people, right? So you can see it's wearing a hat over here. And you can see the reasoning. Okay, does this person have 2 promotions? Okay, yeah, companies with 2 promotions. So I can quickly remove the ones that don't fit, and then I don't need to manually filter. You can even have your recruiters do this. And then what it also does too is for this recruitment outreach, they'll say, hey, name, I saw that you were ranked as 2x #1 copywriter in Africa and the Middle East. And that makes it a lot easier because, okay, 1, you're personalizing at scale. 2, you're also making sure that you're filtering at scale too. And I can tell you that when we email these people, the response rate is about 20% or so, and that's amazing.
And once you have your strategy in place, it's all about the back end. You got your calendar, your CRM, your email, and this is where MCP connectors start to shine. So MCP, this stands for Model Context Protocol, and very easy way of looking at this is just getting the LLMs to talk with the different apps that you have out there, because you have a lot of rich data, especially in your calendar, your CRM, your Google Drive, your email. So teams are using agents to pull sales cycle trends, optimize calendar time, and detect lead drop-off points via tools such as ChatGPT's connector with HubSpot. And you can do it custom, or you can just pull it in with ChatGPT or even Claude.
So to give you an example here, these are OpenAI's MCP connector. So I go to deep research and then I hook it in with sources. You can see HubSpot's over here, and you can see it's done a sales plan, tripling B2B sales through inbound lead nurturing and momentum, 60 to 90 day cycle. And you can see it's just calling out these, all the research that it's done based on the data. I can take the necessary actions. And as long as I'm informed that the data is clean, then I know I'm going to do better just if I make these changes.
Once you're driving traffic, content becomes the next place to scale without sacrificing quality, of course. So look, we got products like ClickFlow, and ClickFlow helps us generate agentic workflows for SEO purposes to help consolidate, delete, update content, refresh SEO content in general, and it saves teams 30, 40, sometimes even 70 to 90% of their time. And so you can input whatever it is that you're looking to create. The agent will run that update workflow, and then it will publish it once a human reviews it, and that allows you to move a lot faster. Once the funnel is working, the biggest upside is in team execution, and that's where coaching agents come in. You can use products like Lindy.ai, you can use products like Gong for sales intelligence. We like Granola for note-taking as well. We collaborate in Slack. You might be using Microsoft Teams, but ultimately what we're looking to do with these coaching agents is just improve performance across the board without humans needing to be in the loop for every single moment.
So this is Lindy. Lindy, basically, this bot helps coach my team on how to prioritize the most high leverage tasks and generally improve on things like a sales call. And in this case, people share their top 3 priorities completed yesterday with a brief explanation of their impact. And then also daily check-in, they are talking about the number one thing, specify your number one priority for today, ensuring it's high leverage activity with clear strategic value. Just keep in mind, your job ultimately as a leader is to make sure that your team functions as a high performance sports team. And you can see on a recurring schedule every day at 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, they'll pull messages from Slack from our daily stand-up channel, and it'll use a model over here, which is a reasoning model. Immediately, once we implemented this, the performance got a lot better, and everyone, I think, is going to be more satisfied.
That's why these coaching agents really shine in terms of actually generating more revenue for you. Because if people are working on the highest leverage things, do you think you're going to do better or you're going to do worse as a company? Of course, you're going to do better, which means more revenue for you. Speed of thinking matters a lot. Dictation has become a secret weapon for strategy, and I don't think enough people are using it right now. So the product that we use is Super Whisper, and it dictates raw thoughts, and then I'm able to use ChatGPT or Claude to turn that into structured marketing plans or briefs, or I can come up with comp plans, I can come up with different types of tables for our AI fluency program. A lot of these things I'm able to dictate out because I can talk a lot faster than I can type, and I can talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes straight, and I can then ask the AI to ask me clarifying questions around anything that I basically prompted it with. If you're lazy, like I am, you want to dictate it out, and that just makes your life a lot easier. And when it comes to messaging, the best copy now comes from making your LLMs fight. So what do I mean by that? I mean that you want to come up with the best answer by having ChatGPT fight against Grok, fight against Claude, fight against other LLMs, and they will try to outdo each other each time because they'll get jealous of each other and they'll want to compete, and they like to compete. And by doing that, you are able to come up with the best copy, the best email copy, the best sales copy, the best marketing copy. And oh, what's that going to do? That is going to lead to more conversions. If you're in B2B, here's the deal. LinkedIn account-based marketing sucks, but it doesn't have to. With Carrot, it allows you to create personalized ads towards your customers and also personalized landing pages that align with the ads, so you're gonna have higher conversions, and influence pipeline reporting to prove that your ABM works. So if you wanna learn more, just go to carrot.ai and you can join the waitlist. Again, it's carrot, KARROT.ai, and we'll see you on the other side. Once you've nailed the message, now it's about packaging, and this is where co-pilots shine. Teams are using Gemini, Manus, GenSpark.ai, that's with the G, and 11 Labs to build decks, write ad copy, and generate voiceovers from a single input. So you can create ad scripts, you can create short form content, you can create voiceovers. You can even use ChatGPT images to come up with different images and then have it just reformat them into the right dimensions. And you can even take a photo of you and make it into a different, maybe an anime version of you. And then you can have that anime version become a video version of you based on the original image. And then you can use 11 Labs to take the voice that you originally had and then clone it over into this video. And so you should be able to spit out not only ad copy, but ads in general. You should be able to spit them out a lot faster. There's no excuses now not to get ads done a lot faster, because the tooling is all available. Now let's zoom out. This is where leaders are using AI as a second brain for actual decision making. When it came down to pricing strategy, I went over into deep research for ChatGPT, and I asked about how SaaS companies handle agency pricing. There are a lot of agencies, they have a lot of different clients, and so for our product, carrot.ai, we want to make sure that we have the optimal pricing strategy when it comes to working with agencies, and it did a great job of that. Or financial forecasting. I can take all of my financials, I can take all the reports that I have, I can even have it come up with different churn numbers by showing, I can pull in different QuickBooks reports and it can report on churn, logo churn, and things like that. Executive compensation design, we can have it, I can pull in different comps that I like, and then I can dictate using Super Whisper different elements, different terms that I like, and then I'll finally run this by my employment law firm, and then they will say, hey, you need to look out for this, you need to look out for this. They'll help draft something, and then we're good to go. Hiring plan frameworks too. I can take an org chart design, an image of what our current org chart looks like, and then here's the current plan that we have, and then fill out what we want our org chart to look like in the next 12 months or so. Managing time, I can hook it in ChatGPT with my Google Calendar. Hey, these are my goals right now. How am I managing my time? Where should I be spending more time? I've been spending a lot more time on recruiting. It's always good to cross-check with your ChatGPT or Claude strategist, because you don't want to be working on the wrong thing, because time is your most valuable asset. Now, there's a ton of valuable written information or documentation within a company that gets lost and never used again. But that is no longer the case anymore. Because now what you can do is there's Dropbox AI, there's Box AI, there's Gemini that can connect with your Google Drive. These can all be used to surface deep content from within your PDFs, your decks, transcripts, shared drives, all this unstructured data that you have. So you can tie in your Box trends or your Google Drive trends to see which clients are getting the most action, and you can tie that in with your project management tool like an Asana. And so now you're able to uncover a lot of patterns, a lot of trends that you otherwise might not have seen. So once you got that going, you got to make sure that you get follow-ups down, because the fortune is in the follow-up. So you can use AI workflows using Clay, Smart Lead, and Superhuman to auto-detect warm leads and draft smart, personalized emails that are ready for human approval. So Superhuman already has this built in. So if you send an email to someone, 3 days later, if they don't respond, it will bump it back up with a draft email to hit them up again. And that saves me a lot of time, because oftentimes you're so busy sending emails that you forget to follow up with people. Now, by using Clay has a product called Claygent within it, where it can find personalized information. It'll personalize the first sentence of whoever it is that you're emailing. It'll draft a personalized email, and then you can load them into Smart Lead. And Smart Lead, you can put in different email inboxes, so then you don't get marked for spam. And then you can have this workflow all created through a Loom video. Then you can put it into a super agent like Manus or GenSpark to run these workflows for you, and voila, right? You then have a machine that is doing valuable human work for you at scale. The companies winning with AI today aren't just using it to save time, they're using it to scale decision-making, creativity, and ops in every direction. Ultimately, they're just making more money with AI, and they're focused on driving more revenue with AI. It's not just about time saving, even though that's very important. Now, if you're not building systems around this, you're going to get outpaced by teams that are. If you want to learn how to use ChatGPT for business at a very high level, you're going to want to check out this next video over here.